Welcome to the Chris Voss Show Podcast, chrisvossshow.com. Trying to get our podcast back on straight after kind of a break there. Let's talk about some of the news today. We're going to discuss some gadgets, some of the ones that will be coming up for review on the Chris Voss Show YouTube channel. Be sure to go to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Chris Voss. My name. How hard is that? You can find me anywhere on the internet with my name. Oh my God, it's so simple, Chris. We don't know what to do. That's that. And welcome to the broadcast. In fact, we're going to do a little maintenance here, self-maintenance, if you will. We're going to share some of this stuff out across the dealios and see if we can't get some people watching, if you will, and seeing what's going on. So we're going to talk about some gadgets. We got a really cool product here from Think Tank Photo. And Think Tank Photo is, you can go to their website, thinktankphoto.com. They make incredible camera gear, stuff for rolling around your cameras, your video stuff, your drones. They make incredible cases. And in fact, I use one and the products pretty explicitly with everything that I do. When I travel, you'll see me carrying around a Think Tank Photo bag. So you'll see me having fun with that. And let's see, share on our own timeline. We're doing a little maintenance here to start the show. And so if you ever see me traveling around, say, hey, Chris, can I check out your Think Tank Photo bag? Because I usually have the one with me. One thing I really like about it, it's got a lock built into it, so I can lock it up wherever I go, wherever I want. If I'm in a bar, a club, wherever I am, I can lock literally the unit to some sort of fixture, and it will be very hard to get that off of there. So let's take a look at it. This is called the, it's a very big thing though. I'm not sure how we're going to get it all on the camera because it's so big. But what this bag is, if I can find my screen so I can see, what this bag is, it's a giant videographer bag, if you will. This thing is basically made to carry video equipment. Like if you have the big video cameras with all, the lens thing and, the real professional video cameras, this is what that's designed for. Is to be able to carry those units. They even have ones that are designed for like full rigs of video cameras, professional video cameras, where you have like, the arms and all the crazy stuff. You might be able to use this for just normal camera work, but I love their bags. The one bag that I have from Think Tank Photo that's like my standard travel bag when I take my camera gear traveling is a Think Tank Photo bag. So let's go ahead and pull this down and open this baby if we can. It's a little hard to do on the broadcast. You can see here the bottom is very well built. I bashed the crap out of the bottom and the back of my Think Tank Photo bag. I'm so mean to it. It's not even funny. I'll be at the airport and I'll be like right over the curb and stuff. And I know that my camera gear is padded on the inside and protected very well by these bags. They're very well made, very well stitched, great handles. And I've been able to use them for hours at a time when I'm traveling. This is like my protected bag of usually there can be maybe $10,000 worth of lenses and other gear and stuff in here that need to get protected and doesn't leave my sight. But security, of course, is, another thing. So let's look at the side of this baby. And you can see here, they've got a TSA locking system that's built in that can lock it. So I don't have to run around with zippers. It's built into the bag, locks in. And of course, I'm sure you can just pop these babies and they pop loose like that. So beautiful front to this bag. It's really nice. And then down the side, this is quite difficult to do this. You can see we've got a place to hook stuff. So we've got an area here, which is going to be for your tripods. And usually I cram 1 or 2 tripod legs in there. Then we've got a hooking system here where we can take and adjust this. And of course, hook tie downs to hold down the top part of the tripod and travel with it. So I I really like this thing. These guys make really great bags. I mean, I've reviewed a ton of camera bags. I mean, you name it, I've probably reviewed it. And the ones I always keep are Think Tank photo bags. I mean, I keep the best. I mean, I don't play favorites. I get these bags and I have one bag and I have another bag and another bag. And I go, okay, which one is the best? And I use them for a little bit and I go, okay, this one's the best. So I really like Think Tank products, and they don't pay me to say that, just so you were clear. Now let's get the name of this bag out because I've been goofing around. This is called the Video Transport Rolling Series bag, and the particular unit that they sent us, I believe, is called the 20. And let me make sure we get that right. Here as we do this, I know it's the 20. I know that for a fact. Some of the aspects of the build on this, 1680 deep ballistic nylon, 3mm foam, non-woven material, PE board, 6mm ABS twin wall, maintains rigid structure, 8mm closed cell foam, mesh scrim, 3mm PU form, and high density Nylex. Let's take a look at the top here. So you see the top. Top's got a great big nice handle to it. You can see it's nice and wide. There's a place for your ID card. I have the Chris Voss Show business card usually in this top part, so that if it's ever found or lost, I can easily identify it. And it looks like there's even a top pocket. What's in here? There's a top pocket that's got a laptop or wherever you want to use this for, to take and hold it down. You want to tie it around like a pole or something to keep this thing from going anywhere. You can take and do that. So you've got that in the zipper top right here on the top of the bag. Easy pull strings. Like I say, I beat these things through miles and miles of work. You've got, of course, one thing that's neat too is Think Tank Photo. This is a Video Transport 20. Think Tank Photo has a serial number. I want to show you this. They have a serial number on the bag. I'm not sure if you can see that very well, but there's a serial number that they put on each of their bags. This is in case it's ever lost, stolen, whatever the case may be, that they can contact the folks at Think Tank Photo, and they will know that it's your bag, and of course gives you some added sense of recovery if that's possible. But yeah, just I beat these bags silly. It's just I've done mean things to them just to test them, and of course sometimes I'm just angry and wandering through airports going, oh my God, it's like their handles are heavy duty. These aren't the cheap handles that I've seen before. These are nice, good handles, and they've taken a beating for me, and I've abused them because usually in an airport, if you've ever flown with me, usually in airports and flying, I'm a very angry person. I really hate the experience, and I'm very angry during it. So I bash whatever I get to bash. So it looks like along the front here, looks like we have a whole area where maybe you could slide a tablet, very thin, maybe an iPad, something of that nature. Let's go ahead and open this baby up. Now this is made not really for like camera gear and lenses. This is made for the big professional cameras that you normally see. And it looks like it's also designed. I'm not even sure how you can kind of see how you could set this up. And I stand corrected. Okay, so you can use this as a camera bag. You can see they've got the big lights there, the 4K camera setup. So you can use this. There's a red sort of a thing. But the way I originally saw these on their website was that it was kind of designed where you can put the big professional camera lenses. So evidently you can do both of these. So let's take a look at what we have here. I'm going to try and get our camera down a little bit farther here so we can see. Now we've got an opening that's designed to open like this. It flaps, if you will. These got rip tears for Velcro on them. And then on each of these sides, we've got zippers where we can take and put stuff and see through as to what's in the zippers. Those are important. And let's see if I can get it to quit flopping here with me. This is kind of a little hard to do, a challenge to display this on live video. So we've got a packet area, and this is all rip tear Velcro in here. You can see we've got some dividers they've given us. If I want to turn this into a different style bag, I can utilize that. The one thing they've given us too, I almost need an assistant for this, is let's see if I can rip this loose from the Velcro. This is a cover. So this is a rain cover. It comes with all the Think Tank photo bags, at least from my experience, where I can use this cover to cover the bag, protect it from rain, and all that good stuff. What else do we have down in here? This would be, looks like this is this is an additional tripod hook base or carry-all that you can put to the outside side there where you saw the tripod go in. So additional thing. Now in here you can see all the Velcro rip areas, I call them, where you can put stuff. And of course you can adjust these areas and compartments based upon how much you can put in here. I don't think this bag would make it through carry-on, but the one that I have from Think Tank Photo just perfectly matches to get through carry-on. You can see here we've got a pocket area here. There's a very thick padded unit we can use. Let's see what else do we got in here. We got a few other padded stuff in there, but you kind of get the gist of how this works. You can rip tear all these different Velcro structures and pad this the way you want. You can put your big professional cameras in here that have all the lenses. They have ones where it will house all the rig, where you have the additional rigs added on, and you can take and protect all your stuff. I really like this bag. In fact, I'm going to probably measure it and see if I can get it through carry-on, but I think it might be too tall. But I don't know, it's about as tall as my other bag. But I like this bag. This is a really nice. I like how it has this opening area where I can, of course, adjust this out, I'm sure, fold it so it'll flop back and over. One thing I don't like about my Think Tank bag that I have now that I travel with is, the top will just go and flop over. And the scary part is sometimes I have a laptop in the front, and usually I have a lot of gear in here, and I don't want that to. And then sometimes you're in an airport, so it's going to fall over and people might step on it. And usually I have like expensive phones or MiFis in the front of my bag. So I like this where it's got this opening holder. The weight of it, I'm not sure, Lucy. It's about, I don't know, normal luggage size weight. It's not very heavy because these are just light foam. We'd have to look it up. Might be able to find it on the instructions here, but since I'm mid-broadcast, I may not be able to get that data for you. But this is a preview, of course, as to what we'll be reviewing on the Chris Voss Show. So you'll see the full review on our YouTube channel at that time. Not going to lie, I live for bags with 1 million pockets. The great thing about this is you can add 1 million pockets. I believe you can buy more dividers from Think Tank Photo. If you go to the website, thinktankphoto.com, you can see all the different variations of bags. This one's kind of built for video. Mine's kind of built more for cameras. And there's just a whole lot of different variations that you can take and use. But I love the way they build them. They're very strong. They take a beating because I beat the crap out of them. And I love to abuse them. In fact, if I can go dead air, well, I'm not going to go dead air around you guys. I'll pull my other bag up another time and we'll review the bag that I currently. This is my standard travel bag from Think Tank Photo. So Think Tank Photo, I mean, look at the stitching. Look how wide they made these. It's definitely made to carry heavy camera equipment and everything else. But I love the serial number concept where they can go on the serial number and you can get your bag back. You can lock this bag down so that it will not be wandered off with. You got the TSA lock built in. One of my problems is I'm always losing those stupid little TSA locks that are separate. So I love these because I never have to find them. I'm like, where's those TSA locks? I got to go to the airport. And you're trying to find them and they're always lost. So between the top part and everything else, this seems like it's about the size of the one that I currently use. I don't see right away the weight on here, Lucy. So my apologies that we don't have that data readily available for you. But you can see here on the bag kind of what this is used for when you've got rigs, you've got these expensive camera setups for professional photography or for your own photography, really, when it comes down to it. It's getting dog hair on it. We'll have to clean that off for the review. But you can kind of get an idea as to how this lays out. They kind of give you an idea. You've got a red lens right here, and you can see how thick the protection is there. And then, of course, they got the little rip areas. But the customization that you can take and do on this is really great. So I don't see the weight on the back here either that I'm looking for. So you got your sound mic here. You've got a Sony professional camera here. You've got your lenses and everything else. And they not only make these in this size, they make them in all different sizes, whether you want just a small day bag, a messenger bag, and you're carrying something as small as your Canon, a few lenses. They even make small bags. They're just built for taking something like this around, protecting it so it doesn't get bashed and everything else. It's got a Pelican laptop, waterproof. Okay, backpack. Yeah, the Pelican makes really good products, and we review them as well. In fact, I need to look in getting that backpack. But Pelican will send us their cases, and we review the cases, and we do love their cases as well. They make great cases. You saw a cameo come through of the rat dog. So that's what we have on the agenda today that needs to be reviewed and everything else. Some of the things that we're talking about today on my Facebook, and hopefully if you're watching, you follow me on Facebook, be sure to tell me why we should follow you or send a message, because I get a lot of different requests from people, and I'm just like, whatever. One thing that I talked about today was Twitter. There's an article on BuzzFeed.com that's talking about, I'll just give you the title of it, Honeypot for Assholes, Inside Twitter's 10-year failure to stop its trolls. Twitter has a huge reputation problem, and of course they have another huge problem where advertisers are moving away from them and moving more to like Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, et cetera, and they need to get more users not only joining up for the service, but using the service on a daily basis and continuing to do so, and of course appealing to advertisers. But one of the problems it has is they've always engendered this idea of we're about free speech, and it's important that people in certain countries that may need to remain anonymous because they could be persecuted, jailed, killed. Some of these countries are very repressive, and so their sort of concept has always been in terms of we support free speech. And there's that fine line, of course, you have to balance. I mean, is ISIS free speech? Yada, yada, yada. So there's the quandaries that every social media company has to deal in. So what's interesting is they, this is still haunting them for 10 years now. That has been going on. It's amazing that Twitter's 10 years old. And what they're dealing with is how to rein in these trolls. Now, when I was with YouTube came down. It was during the G+ era of Gandatra, who ran Google Plus at the time, where Google Plus was failing. They came with a concept to go onto YouTube to get rid of the trolls, and of course, hopefully lift up Google Plus's failing by making all the commenters on YouTube verify their identity through Google Plus, which verified who you were, and that of course caused a lot of problems. But I got to tell you, one of the things that happened was overnight the trolls went dead. The abuse pretty much stopped. Now I still get abused on YouTube. I still get hate comments. I've been told that I should kill myself because my review wasn't good enough. My life is evidently to some people only worth a 3-minute video that I reviewed, and if I don't do it well enough, my life has no value or meaning to them, which is a scary and interesting thought. But I still have my trolls on YouTube, but nothing compared to what I used to. It's probably, I don't know, 100th of what it used to be. It used to be that people go on and they have these huge troll battles on my comments section, and now they don't anymore. And it all ended, and for most YouTubers, when they implemented the Google Plus verification thing, and that just killed it. And well, on one side, it killed all the trolls. On the other hand, it lowered the engagement that we got. I mean, our YouTube video engagements dropped completely. It also affected our income of our paychecks from YouTube, which weren't seeing as many views driving comments and arguments. So it had an effect on them. I think it had an effect on YouTube. In fact, YouTube also changed the metrics for which we were paid on YouTube, which affected a lot of YouTubers, likely because they weren't seeing as much traffic on their things, and I'm sure it affected their ad base too as well. So, but I mean, therein lies the issue. I mean, if you're regarded as the cesspool of the internet, Twitter, where all the hate and ugliness is, and it's gotten so bad that 4chan seems to be like a cleaner place to be, or Reddit for that matter. I mean, it used to be that Reddit and 4chan were just kind of like the place on the internet where you just kind of went, there's some scary, fucked up shit over there. But now it's kind of come to a point where it's like, oh, Twitter is like the cesspool of trolls. And it speaks to a bigger problem of probably of likely what's going on in our country, where people feel that they can behave, act out, and talk this way. They can be racial. They can be complete assholes. They can. It's just a sad fact of where we come as a society. But Twitter has to decide what to deal with it. Facebook won't deal with abuse. Neither will YouTube and other channels. But Twitter openly says, well, free speech. Now, there is a lot of comedy on Twitter. I find a lot of funny stuff that is sarcastic, humorous, might be painful to the parties involved to witness. But there's a kind of a fine line between sarcasm and just outright hate. We saw some of that with the Ghostbusters comedian from SNL. I forget her name, escapes me at this point in time. But the thing is I think the only way Twitter can get rid of this problem is to do the verification authorization sort of thing where they go, okay, sorry, we got to know who you are, what you're doing. We got to know your real name. And I think that's just the way they have to do it. In fact, I just recently applied for Twitter's verification checkmark, and I had to send in my ID. I have no problems doing that. There might be some privacy issues there, but you know what? You can get most of my driver's license data and buy it. It's available on the internet. That ship sailed a long time ago. So, honeypot for assholes. Twitter's 10-year failure to stop the assholes. What do you guys think? How can Twitter fix the cesspool of trolls that it has? Does it have to go to verification where people have to get their real names and identities to be able to comment and tweet and all that good stuff, which of course would expose some of the political dangers that people have in countries that they might be in prison, killed, or sent to jail for, indefinitely, beaten, tortured, all that crazy stuff, because that does still happen, especially in countries where there are no rights. Is there a thing they can do? The other issue I talked about today on Facebook that was up for discussion was the Ariana Huffington is resigning from the Huffington Post as the editor. She's going on to a startup she's been working on for health. And it's interesting she's doing it. A lot of people are saying that it's because Verizon, who owns them, is now buying Yahoo. And Yahoo may become the number one most, focused product for them, the product maybe they want to put all the resources into, et cetera, et cetera. I've heard a lot of disturbing things out of HuffPo, that they won't defend their writers against any lawsuits when people pull the rights of the press thing, or if there's slander, et cetera, et cetera. They, unlike other posts, things like the Washington Post, New York Times, they will defend their editors against what they write. I guess whatever is the issues are the issues there. But what's kind of wild is Verizon is just really moving away from being a mobile company, or maybe moving away is the wrong term, but they're becoming less of a mobile company that you would regard for phones to more of a content company. And it's very interesting what they're trying to do. And why they're trying to do it and where they're going with it. So it will be kind of curious to see how that turns out in the future for them. Certainly they have their finger in the pie as they provide internet services to a lot of, actually, come to think of it, I think I just hit the money on that one. Verizon does provide a lot of internet services for the internet. They have, of course, their own landing pages, their news sites, and of course they control a lot of mobile. Maybe it's so they can control these sites so they can deliver them to these pages and get the ad revenue from them. So they can basically say, okay, so we're going to sell a bunch of these people phones, and we're going to sell a bunch of these people internet services, and then we're going to make the splash entrance page, if they'll allow us to use that homepage, a news feed, a content curation, excuse me, of all of their content that they bought, like AOL, Huffington Post, Yahoo, all that good stuff. I guess that's where the money is. It's kind of like maybe Apple should do that. You know, they sell the phones and then they push you to their sites, et cetera, et cetera. So maybe that's where the money is and why Verizon is doing what they do. Interesting stuff. What can I say? The next item that I talked about was Donald Trump. You know, it's gotten to the point now where I don't even have to wake up and go, what if Donald Trump said anything stupid today? Something completely idiotic and moronic. There's no, you just know that he did. Like, I can go around my day and I can be like, I'll check the news later because I know Donald Trump said something ignoramus. You don't even have to get to it right away anymore. It's like, it'll be there. That's he's going to say something stupid today. And sure enough, he did. He blamed, he literally came out and said Hillary and Clinton are founders of ISIS. Now, I want everyone to remember here, I don't promote any party, politician. I think they're all scumbags and liars and cheats. And it's like, it's basically trying to pick which of the worst you want to have screw you over. It's like, do I want to have Clinton screw me over or do I want to have Trump? Which anal raping is going to hurt the worst? That's pretty much what you have to decide between the two. It's like it's like being in prison and you're like, which prison gang should I have anal rape me, prison rape me, and which is going to hurt less? Because they're both going to hurt like a whole lot. There's going to be blood too, but which might hurt less? So there you go. That's kind of the analogy you want to take and use. So it's funny that he blames Hillary Clinton. I put up a post with Joseph Goebbels, who said, if you tell a lie big enough and keep repeating it, people will eventually come to believe it. There's also a thing that he is quoted as saying, as blame the other party for whatever you did. And that's how you get away with it, basically. George Bush, if you can blame anyone for ISIS, George Bush for faking the war stuff and going to war with Iraq and destabilizing basically the whole Arab area with the Iraq war. That's where the blame has to be if you really want to blame somebody. It's not, and to say that Hillary Clinton and Hillary and Obama are the founders of ISIS, like what is their name on the incorporation materials for the business license? And what's interesting to me is the people don't get the nuances of these concepts of fact. Like they'd say, oh, they're founders. Well, yeah, they were sitting in a foxhole in fucking Afghanistan, sitting around with what's his name, who created ISIS, and being like, hey, how can we fucking do this? You know, we create a whole lot of stupid shit, and usually it isn't created by presidents. It's usually created by the CIA. A good example is who's our guy who Osama bin Laden. He was created by the CIA. They'll fund him in Afghanistan during the Russian war. They built him up, and then when they left him high and dry and cut off the money supply, he's like, screw you Americans. So, you know, and we create shit like that all the time. We helped create Castro and didn't support him when we could have allied with him. And all these other problems that we do. But you can't blame one president for like, he did this. There's a whole lot that goes on between the State Department, the Pentagon, the CIA, the FBI. There's so many million parts at play, Congress, et cetera, et cetera. And I keep seeing these Trump people where they just have this one guy will fix everything. One guy. There's like 25 million employees or some goddamn thing with the U.S. government. And they're like, one guy's going to go fix it all. Yeah, he's going to fix it, man. He said he's going to make America great again. This is not fucking possible. And even if he does get into office, he's going to have to deal with a Congress and judicial system that are designed to be checks and balances to make sure that some idiot doesn't go megalomaniac Mussolini on us and just do whatever he wants, although he has the megalomania to do it. So yet again, this thing is, and I just don't realize, like, when does a Trump voter hear enough to go, okay, you know what? He said like another crazy fucking thing, and that's just the end. Now, there was a bunch that gave up after he bashed the Gold Star families, Gold Star mothers, through the Democratic DNC party. I forget the guy's name, but it was Khan. There was a lot that were like, that's the last straw, you know? But I swear to God, there's a lot of these Trump voters that if Donald Trump fucked a baby, killed it, and then ate it on live fucking TV, they still would be these Trump apologists going, well, he didn't really mean it. It was more of a fucking joke. How far does he really fucking have to go before people go, well, I don't know. And see, the problem is half these numbnuts, these Cletus fucking knuckle draggers are sitting around going, yeah, he said something. It's really simple for me to understand. And I'm not for Clinton either. Okay, so I'm not playing either card, but we're focused here on what Trump said stupid today because we're talking about the news. So this is what we do. And in checking today, I didn't see anything stupid Clinton said that was out of line and idiotic. So I'm sorry, Mrs. Clinton, would you please give me more material to mock you and do jokes about with? 5 presidents. This is another thing I talked about on Facebook. You have 5 presidents, 5 of the last presidents, and note that there's only 5 of them alive. So there are probably more. Ford was a Democrat, so they probably would not like the situation. And let's see, Nixon was a Republican, but we all know what he was like. In fact, he would probably be like, I think Trump would be good. Does he know how to work tape machines? Does he know how to erase tape machines? Does he know how to work an 8-track reel? So that's for you millennials, you won't get that joke. Anyway, mainly because you're texting while you were in school. So we have 5 living presidents, and mainly because there's only 5 alive. Otherwise, I think there would be more who have said they're not voting for Trump and they don't think he's fit to be president. Why is this not the first sign that there's a real problem with this gentleman becoming president, with Trump becoming president? You have 5 presidents going, we know what it's like to do this job, some of them for up to 8 years at a time. In fact, you have Obama, George Bush W., and Bill Clinton. 3 of the 5 did 2 terms. So you have a lot of years of experience there, a lot of knowledge and know-how in what it takes to do this job. And they're going, this guy is unfit for the job. Which is, number one, unprecedented in American history, where presidents are going, okay, normally they just disagree. They disagree in politics. I don't think he's right on this issue. I don't think he's right on that. They are, for the first time, coming out and saying, this motherfucker is a dumbass and he can't do the job. And we know it because we've done the job. That's a really big sign. And they're not just doing it to be partisan. You have pretty much the whole Bush family said they're not endorsing Donald Trump. They're Republican. They're hardcore conservative Republicans, and they're not willing to endorse him. Here's your sign. You have 50 NSA agents. I mean, running this country is very complex, and a president doesn't have that much power really when it comes down to it. He has some, but really he's got to fall within the lines of the judicial system, the Congress, and the rules and regulations and everything else he wants to do. The other thing too is he's got to represent this country well. He can't just like be a fucking crazy man. I mean, do you want somebody who knows how to run the government in office, or do you want to let crazy Uncle Willie drunken tweeting fucking Trump to be the driver on the school bus? Really? I mean, think about all the things that can happen with his behavior. He's very thin-skinned. We're going to be in arguments, fistfights, and trade wars, and probably real wars with something he tweets out at 4 fucking a.m. while he's president. Can you imagine where that's going? And all the Cletus knuckle-draggers are going like, yeah, we should do that. And they have no idea how integrated the world is in finances, money, food, everything else that we rely on and go on. And once we start fucking up this whole balance that we've built in the world, it's not going to end pretty. And it's not going to be pretty. And knuckle-draggers don't care because they'll just go back to the trailer and go, I thought Trump was going to give me double wide. Pass the Oreos and tell me what's going on with whatever show, Anyway. So, my favorite comment from yesterday when the when the guy was calling the Trump Tower, I wrote a post that said, so Trump says with his building talent, he'll build a wall that immigrants can't climb over, but some dude is easily scaling the Trump Tower. That's a fail. Anyway, it's a fun little sort of, it's a funny sort of gist on that. I also made the post that someone's climbing out the side of Trump Tower. It's probably Donald Trump avoiding the Secret Service when I talked to him about his assassination comments that he made about Hillary, which was just appalling, unpresidential, unprofessional, just a horrible thing for a presidential candidate to say, disgusting. And the fact that anybody triumphs that or thinks that that sort of behavior is presidential or someone should be president that exhibits that sort of behavior, you gotta have your mind fucking checked out, man. Because there's really something wrong with someone who thinks that that's appropriate behavior for the for a president. You want to vote for him? Knock yourself out. It was kind of fun to see the guy get dragged in off the Trump Tower thing, where the cops are like, come here, no. Come on in. He's like, no, fuck you guys. You can tell he's just like, no, I'm not coming in. I do whatever I want. You're like, that's not a good thing to tell cops. That's the one. Anytime an officer says to me, Chris, you need to do this, I go, okay, yeah, sure. Yes, sir. No, sir. Whatever. You have the power to shoot me and kill me, even though I'm white. You won't do that, but you do. So I will abide by your instructions, sir. I will not tempt the devil, okay? Because that devil can be a whole lot of whatever, and so I don't go pissing off authority. Sometimes some authority I'll fight with and argue with, but not the police, okay? Not people that have the legal wherewithal within their discretion. Discretion being the key word, of shooting my brains out. And then saying, well, he was resisting. So I don't want to have to do that. So anyway, yeah, I don't know. I'd love to find out what what he was trying to do. He claimed in the YouTube video that he had some sort of message or pitch that he wanted to give to Donald Trump. So I don't know what that was about, but anyway, fun is fun. So anyway, wrapping up, be sure to go to our YouTube channel. Go to YouTube.com/Chris Voss, my name, if you don't aware of it yet. And check out the Think Tank photo bag from thinktankphoto.com we'll be reviewing. And if you're a cameraman or you like gear, or maybe just like gadgets. You like taking your gadgets, traveling with you. When I go to CES, CTIA, NAB, all these different conference shows, I've always got camera gear. I've got my GoPros, I've got my mics, I've got lenses, camera bodies, all that sort of good stuff. And it's very expensive. So you got to make sure it doesn't wander off. And then number two, you need it protected. And with these bags, they've just been wonderful bags. I wish they'd send me more. I'd use more. But go to Think Take Photo, check out their video bags, especially into videography. Like I said, I'm not paid to say this in any way, shape, or form. Out of all the bags that I've been sent, I love their bags the most, and I use them. In fact, we'll make one of the future podcasts. We'll get the other one that I have and show you how I use it and what it's used. It's very similar to this. It's about almost the same size, maybe a little smaller. It's got a few more pockets in it. It's built to hold the laptop up front, and some more stuff, I think, in the front with a front flap that flops down where you can have, all your little micro SD cards and all that good stuff. So very cool this way in what these bags do, and I like them more than the other ones that I've seen. And I think I've pretty much seen all the main ones that are out there. So there you have it. Anyway, guys, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe to the Chris Voss Show fan page by liking it. And, of course, follow me on Twitter or follow me on Facebook or wherever you are. And be sure to send in your comments and questions. Comment below. Get the discussion going. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and I certainly appreciate it. So let's go ahead and end our live broadcast over here on Facebook for the Facebook whatchamacallit, and we'll wrap up here on YouTube. Thanks for coming by, guys.